Hi everyone, thanks for joining today's session. My name is Omid Yaznampana. I am video lead at Google, and today I'm going to talk a little bit more about our latest developments on YouTube, but also tell you a little bit more about the different type of strategies that we're having and how you can use video and YouTube for the upcoming months that are going to happen. Um, like I said, there are different sessions during this holiday season excellence week. Today I'm going to talk a little bit more about YouTube, but there are more sessions coming, so please have a look also for tomorrow and the day after if you want to learn a little bit more about the different topics that we have for the upcoming retail season. Like I said before, I'm going to talk today a little bit more about YouTube and how you can use YouTube for your own marketing objectives. So there are different topics that I want to cover today. And first of all, I think the main topic that we are going to talk is to understand the different strategies that we have on YouTube and how you can use the different strategies for your own marketing objectives. And if we want to use a specific strategy, it is very important that we use the right audiences, but also to use the right formats that we have and the right measurement tools that we're having. We are talking about video, so it is also very important that in the end we also are able to measure the impact of these type of campaigns. And finally, we have also launched a new video creation tool, all for free for every customer. So I will tell a little bit more about how it exactly works and how you can use it for your own video creation. And I will guarantee you that you will be able to create your own video for free and all for within 10 minutes. It's possible. So please have some patience. I will tell you a little bit more about that later on. So before we start, and I think it's very important also to stand a little bit still about the current situation. It is not like it used to be 1 year ago. And I think this year, especially the upcoming retail season, it is very interesting to see also how our consumers are going to behave, but also how we're able to trigger those people and make sure that we are able to expand our business where possible. So the reason why this year is also a little bit different than the years before is also the way that we are obviously behaving during this pandemic. Even personally, if I look at my own behavior, what I was buying the last few months, there were things that I've never thought that I was going to buy maybe 8 months ago or a year ago. I've tried to create my own personal gym here at home and those kind of aspects. And that makes it also very interesting. I think one thing that we have seen actually, and we did a lot of research internally, is that consumers, the way that they behaved the last few months is not the same that they behaved actually last year. So they are actually, and especially consumers, are navigating to new territories to find how they are able to make the current life easier as it is, and to make sure that they achieve the goals that they want to achieve during this type of pandemics. And at the same time, also retailers, they have faced dramatic changes. So I've talked to many clients where the priorities was actually focusing on surviving in some cases and making sure that they are able to grow their business again in a way that it was before the pandemic. And I think that's quite a challenge, to be honest. So when we're talking about video now also, I think the main point why we wanted to discuss this also is that the moment that you are slowly recovering and you're finding or looking for new ways to expand your business or reach out to customers and tell your story that you want to share with them, I think then video can be very interesting. But the main question would be also like, how are we going to use video in a more efficient way, an effective way, maybe compared to 1 year ago where our resources were more available than that's the case now. So we have done a lot of research also within Google to see how our consumers are behaving. And a couple of things that I wanted to share with you also, because this can give you also a little bit more idea where to focus on and how to make sure that you reach the right audience at the right time. So one thing that we saw is that the pandemic actually introduced consumers to new retailers. So more than 50% of the people that we did, I mean, in terms of the research, we saw that consumers actually reported that they had made purchases from brands that they'd never heard of, or even like some cases were new to them actually. So the reason that I also gave my personal experience where I was buying gym equipments had to do also with the current situation where I never thought about buying something like that. So this is a case, I think it's very interesting also to see how you will cope with this type of situations. But also another thing that we saw is that almost 40% of all retail website visitors were actually new from March to July. So people are actually searching for new equipments, new solutions for their problems. So not every consumer is looking back to the brands that they maybe are always loyal to. So that's something that we have seen also. It is more like, how are you as a company able to help these type of clients and make sure that they feel comfortable in the current situation? And I don't think I need to explain how important the upcoming months will be. So the Black Friday, Cyber Monday, we are expecting a more increase in terms of engagement with our consumers and our platforms, because also a lot of purchases are being done from home. So this is something that's interesting to look into, and also for yourself to see how you're able to actually cope with this type of requests if that increases. And finally, another thing that we also saw is that people are also planning ahead. So not everyone is actually going to buy like a last minute gift, what we did in the past. And it has to do also a little bit with the fact that the resources that we're having, in some cases, it can also get delayed. And we have seen that people are trying to prevent those type of risks by starting early, figuring out what they want to achieve or buy, and make sure that they do their research actually earlier than what they probably did last year. So all these type of trends, we have different tools that you can use yourself. So I just wanted to highlight that if you want to see more about these trends, so you can adjust your messaging if needed, please go to thinkwithgoogle.com/tools to use our trend tools to see what type of trends are happening in your specific vertical, so you can also adjust your message if needed. So how can you help your brand rise above the noise? And the noise, I mean the uncertain moments that we're having now. These are indeed uncertain times, but we have certain solutions for you to use to achieve your marketing objectives. And this is the reason that I wanted to talk today a little bit more about these solutions that you're having, and to make sure that if you're going to use that, you use it in a very efficient and effective way, that we are going to use YouTube. Today also, when we're talking about video, I think in general, the trend, we have seen that people are using it more and more often online because people are staying at home. I think one of the most common search keywords that was actually being used in the last few months on YouTube was in combination with at home, where people were looking for videos to make their life more comfortable at home. And we saw this also in the increase of watch time, for example, on YouTube, but also the way that people were using YouTube. We saw that even on TV screens, it increased more and more because people are staying at home. But in many cases, people have also smart TVs where they can watch YouTube on their TV screen. So that was also very interesting for us to see that it is a sign that people are staying at home, but also trying to get more information and watch more video online than they did actually before the whole pandemic. So today I'm going to talk a little bit more about the different strategies that we have with YouTube, to give you also a better understanding how to use it and when to use the different audiences or formats that we're having, and to make it also a little bit easier for you to focus specifically what you want to achieve. So there are three type of strategies that we are having. So we have the awareness, the consideration, and the action type of strategy that you can use to reach a specific type of people. And when we're talking about the awareness, the high funnel, these are the people with the lowest amount of intention. So that means that you are still not maybe heard of your business or not thinking about your business. These type of people are very interesting to trigger and inspire and to make sure that they start thinking and considering your business. And the lower that we go in the funnel, the higher the intention will actually become. And the more interesting it is to use video, not only to inspire these people, but just to convince them and to make sure that they actually choose for your company compared to maybe a competitor. So the question here is more, how am I going to reach the right audience? Which format am I going to use? And finally also, how am I going to measure the impact of these type of campaigns? We are still talking about video, and in the end, we want to see if the video was effective, yes or no. So there are different tools that we are having, and I will explain you a little bit more about these opportunities. So first of all, let's look at reach the right audience. I think reaching the right audience, what I just said before also, it's very important. And it's not only important because I'm saying that, but the main reason is actually that we have seen that the more the relevant the ad actually is, the more people tend to actually pay attention to the ad. And I think one of the biggest frustration is, and also personally, is that if I see an ad that has zero relevance for me, I can't wait to skip those type of ads. And the reason is also that there are still companies there that are using their way of advertising by going after everyone, and hopefully along the way there is someone who is interested in your service or product. And as you can imagine, that can be also very costly. So you are also reaching probably people who are not interested in your product or not relevant for your service or product. So I think the main question is, how are we going to make sure that if we are using video, we do it in an effective way by reaching the people who are actually interested in your business or can be potential customers for your business? So the first step is actually to find the right audience. I think that's very important. And we are here also to help you with finding your audience. So if you need to have more information, or if you want to have some kind of a conversation with us to make sure that we select the right audience that fits for your specific marketing objective, please reach out to us, because we are happy actually to help you out. And the second step would be to plan this out. So if we have selected a specific audience, how many people are we able to reach? I think that's also very important to know, because that will give you the information if your budgets, for example, are sufficient, or if you need to increase or decrease where needed. And finally, implementing the audiences. So that will be the last step. So it is also, in the end, if we have decided to use specific audiences, the last step would be to implement them in your campaigns. So like I said before, we have for every stage, if it's awareness, consideration, or action, different audiences that we recommend to use. And what I wanted to do is actually to make it very simple for you to know, first of all, if you have decided what your marketing objective is going to be for the upcoming months. So if it's going to be awareness, consideration, action, or even maybe a combination of both or all three of them, that you know for every stage what type of audience you should use. And the reason that we are recommending specific audiences for a specific stage has to do also with the intention of these people. So the lower the intention actually is, the bigger the group audience will also be. But these are the audiences that can be interesting for you to reach out to and inspire them and make sure that they actually start thinking about your product. So for awareness type of campaigns, it is very effective to use, for example, detailed demographics or affinity type of audiences to make sure that you go after the big group, but still people who are at least having affinity in your service or product. And the lower that you go in the funnel, so let's say we go to consideration or even action, the higher the intention of people will actually become. Like for example, if you're going to use an action type of marketing objective, then we have the remarketing that you can use. We have the custom intents that you can use. And these are the people with a high amount of intention, where they don't need to get inspired again, but they need to get convinced why they need to choose for your company in those kind of aspects. If you want to have more information about a specific audience, please also reach out to us. We are happy to give you more information if needed. And another good thing is also that within Google Ads, you are able to find also the audiences that are relevant for you. So we have the audience manager that you can use yourself. There you can see actually your converters and what type of affinity they have or in market they are into. So this can give you a little bit more information if you are still looking for which audiences to use or decide which one you want to test out. Please use, for example, the audience manager to find out specifically for your business which affinity or in market is relevant. And the second step is actually also to plan this out. So the moment that you have decided which audience you're going to use, we advise you actually to use the reach planner to make sure that you can also calculate how many people you're able to reach with specific budgets. I've received quite often the question like, what's the ideal budget for me if I want to do, like, for example, an awareness campaign? I think the reach planner will help you at least to give an indication with an X amount of money and an X amount of targeting, how many people we are able to reach for a specific country. And that can give you a lot of information if that's high enough, low, or if you need to do more investment if needed. After choosing the right audience, the next step would be choosing the right format. So what type of format are you going to use for a specific audience that you have selected for your own marketing objective? So again, I made it also very easy for you to decide based on your marketing objective what type of format to use for your specific campaign. So as you can see here, we have for awareness, consideration, or action type of campaigns, the different formats that you can use. So for example, if you're going to focus purely only on awareness, we have the Triview for Reach campaigns or the bumper campaigns that you can use. And these campaigns are actually purely made for awareness to make sure that you reach a lot of people and make sure that at least your message is being spread along the way. And the lower that you go in the funnel, like for consideration or even like action, we have, for example, the Triview for Action campaigns. And the Triview for Action campaign is not made to go after the impressions or many people as possible, but it is purely made to go after conversions and leads where possible. So the amount of traffic will be not the same as, for example, a Triview for Reach campaign. So again, it has purely to do with what your marketing objective is and what you want to achieve with these type of campaigns. So there are a couple of formats that I want to highlight. So even like in the awareness phase, let's say the upcoming month is coming and you want to increase your awareness, brand awareness if needed, or even highlight specific sales that are coming. We have the bumpers and the Triview for Reach formats. And these two type of formats are actually made for efficient reach. If you are looking for the efficient way to reach as many as possible people, then our recommendation is to use the bumpers or the Triview for Reach, or even the combination of both, to make sure that you actually reach a lot of people in an efficient way as possible. But if you want to increase your awareness, for example, we have the non-skippable ads that you can use. Because we have seen actually that if you want to increase the awareness, the non-skippable ads work very well. And it's also a little bit logic because people are not able to skip, so they tend to pay attention to the ad that they are seeing. So if that's your main marketing objective, to increase awareness, then obviously you can test the non-skippable ads. The only thing that you need to know, it can be a little bit more expensive to use the non-skippable ads compared to Triview for Reach or bumper ads. So the amount of traffic can be less, but still it is a very efficient way to actually increase the awareness if that's the goal that you want to achieve. Another thing that I want to highlight also is that we have the site links also for Triview for Action. I know that some of you probably think, oh no, he's talking about site links again. Yes, we have them on search, but also on Triview for Action. And the reason that I'm actually highlighting this is because we have done some tests to see which campaign is actually performing better, the campaigns that are having Triview for Action and a site link compared to the regular campaigns without a site link. And we saw that the campaigns that are having site links have a better result in terms of conversions, but also CPAs. And the reason is also because we saw more traffic actually being delivered to the website. And in the end, that's the place where the action will happen. So if you haven't done this, please add them, because this will actually improve the performance of your campaigns. Another thing I want to highlight also is that if you're using the Reach Planner, please make sure that it also structures and mirrors the structure that you want to create in your Google Ads account. So let's say in this example, you are going to use the Reach Planner to figure out how many people you can reach with a bumper ad in France for a specific targeting. And you want to use also like a Tribute for Reach campaigns. Make sure that these all will also mirror in your Google Ads account by creating different campaigns as you have created different plans for your Reach Planner. So in this case, let's say I want to use a bumper format with a targeting called Affinity. That means that that would be a separate campaign for me. And obviously, if I want to use different type of affinities, then I can use different ad groups in a campaign, as you can see here in this example. And the reason that we are saying is to have a separate campaign is also to have a little bit more control or about your budgets that you're using for your campaigns. And let's say that you are going to use a campaign called for bumper ads and affinity targeting. And besides that, you're also going to use like a Tribute for Reach with the same affinity targeting. If you have these both in different campaigns, then at least you have a little bit more control about your budget and to see where you want to shift the budget if a specific campaign is performing better or less than the other campaigns. So it gives you a little bit more control on how to push certain campaigns if needed based on the performance. Finally, we have the measurement part. And I think that's also a very important part of measuring your success, obviously. So if you have invested X amount of money in these type of campaigns, in the end, we want to decide if it was a success, yes or no. So again, I have split this actually in different type of stages that we are having and the different marketing objectives that we are having. And I think before you actually start these type of campaigns, it is very important to also define what these type of campaigns will actually be your success. So if you're talking about awareness, consideration, or even action, it is very important to at least define what success will be or will look like for you before you actually launch these type of campaigns. So if it's, for example, awareness, if you're focusing on awareness as a marketing objective and you're using the right audiences and the right formats, I think there, what we are going to measure and to see if we are actually having more awareness is not only the amount of people that we are reaching, but also if there is a lift in awareness or a lift in ad recall. Do people actually remember your ad, yes or no? And if you go lower in the funnel, consideration or even action, then we're looking obviously for different type of metrics. So in action, we are looking, for example, the amount of traffic to your website or the amount of conversion, sales, store visits. These are the things that we are looking at. So for every stage, we have different success metrics. So please make sure that you first define what success is for you. And then we have also obviously different tools that you can use to measure the success. So for awareness, we have the unique reach, and we'll talk a little bit more later on. We have our brand lifts that you can use actually for every stage. This is something to decide if there is more awareness or more ad recall during the awareness phase. But also if you go lower in the funnel, consideration or action, we have like conversions, micro conversions that you can measure, and store visits. This will actually provide you a little bit more information about the impact of the campaigns and if they are successful, yes or no. Talking about the unique reach, I think that's a very interesting part also, especially when you're focusing on awareness. So what we are able to do now is to see like how many people did we actually reach with our campaigns. As you may know, we are all using different devices, right? Mobile, desktop, or even laptop. And you can see like a specific ad on all 3 different devices. So that means that 3 different impressions has been shown while it's being shown to one person at that time. So what we're able to do now in Google Ads is to see how many unique users did we actually reach with the X amount of budget. So let's say that you are using indeed a specific ad format and a specific targeting, and you have invested X amount of money. If you add the column unique users, you're able to see also how many unique people you're able to reach. And that's very interesting for you, especially when you're talking about awareness campaigns, is to see with the X amount of money that you have invested, how many people you have reached and what the costs were. Another thing that we are able to measure also during the awareness phase is the brand lift studies, obviously. So if you want to measure brand lift in terms of if there is more awareness or more ad recall, these are the two types of questions we recommend to use, especially for the awareness type of marketing objective. If you want to have more information and also to know what the exact budgets are to use these type of surveys, please reach out to us, because this can give you a little bit more information about the effectiveness of your ads and if they are causing specific increase in, for example, awareness or ad recall and those kind of aspects. Finally, we are going to talk about create your own video and what I said in the beginning. So we have launched recently a new tool where you can create your own video. It's called the Video Builder. And the good thing of the Video Builder is it's all for free, first of all, and it's also accessible for all clients. So basically how it works is very simple. The only thing that you need to do is upload some images, some text, and decide which music you want to use. And then the tool will automatically create a video for you all for free. So this can be very interesting, especially when you're already having your own creatives that you created yourself. And if you want to highlight specific sales or specific products that you want to make sure that people are also aware for the upcoming period, but you don't have the resources, you don't have the budget, or you don't have the time, this can be actually a very easy tool to use and to make sure that you can still advertise for specific products or services that you want to highlight. And we have seen that even when you're reaching people with a high intention, these type of ads can work very well. They are maybe not very high production value, fancy video ads, but what I said also in the beginning, people with high intention, they don't want to get inspired, but they want to get convinced, they want to get informed why they need to decide for you, because they have already shown the intention and interest in your business and your products. So let me show you a video that I actually created myself within 10 minutes. This is the video, so let's have a look first. So that was cool, right? So a very simple video, to the point, but very effective in terms of telling the people what they can actually expect from your business. And to show you how the tool exactly works, I'm going to open the tool myself now, and I will show you how the tool exactly works just in a few minutes. So let me show you how the Video Builder exactly works. So after you have been whitelisted, you will receive actually a link to your email where you can click on the link and go directly to the tool. The moment that you open the tool, you will see actually this page. So you can see the Video Builder and the different layouts that you can choose, as you can see here. So in the example that I showed you, I chose one of these layouts to create the video, and in this case I chose for a 15-second videos by featuring your brand and showing my brand. So if I click on that, then you can see that you actually need one logo, 6 images, and 5 text areas to upload and create this video. So I click on Use Layout, and then I'm being sent to the next page and the final page to create actually the video itself. So first of all, I need to choose the brand color. So you can choose which primary color and which text color you want to choose here. And then you can upload your logo. So you can use your logo also in the video. And then the only thing that you need to do are a couple of things. So first of all, images. You can upload your images here by choosing your image, and make sure that your image is big enough in terms of size. Otherwise, it will also provide you some recommendation if you need to adjust your image. And if you go a little bit more down, you can see that you can and you should upload more images. And finally, the only two things that we need to do is add text. So you can see that you can add several texts here in your video. And the good thing is that underneath the tool, you can see the storyboard also, where you can see exactly where your text number one will show, as you can see here, and also the images that you're uploading, how it exactly will look like along the way. So this will give you a little bit more information on how to create the video, but also how it actually will look like when you're creating along the way. The next step would be choosing your font. As you can see here, there is already a font selected, but if you want to choose a different font, what is more suitable for your company, you can go to your Google Fonts catalog, as you can see here, and here you can actually choose which font you want to use and insert it here, and make sure that it's actually being implemented in the video. And finally, we have also some music. So the YouTube music, categories are all for you to use for free. So as you can see, we have all different type of music, so you can decide which one you want. You click on it. If you want to hear a preview, then you can click on the play button next to it. So and the moment that you're all happy with this information, the only thing that you need to do is click on create video, and that will make sure that you're actually creating your video automatically. So it can take a few minutes, normally between 1 or 2 minutes it can take to create the video itself, but it's that easy, so no more information needed. This is it. And to be honest, if you are looking for ways to promote a specific products or services because you have a big assortment, big couple of products that you want to promote, I think this would be a suitable way actually to use this. So that was the video builder. Hopefully you have a better understanding how it exactly works. I want to highlight also that we have more options for you if you want to use to edit or adjust your video accordingly. So first of all, we have the bumper machine. This is a tool that you can use yourself in Google Ads by uploading an existing video, and it will automatically create a 6-second video for you that you can use as a bumper. Another thing that we have also internally is a creative team that is able to help recut or adjust your existing videos to make it more YouTube friendly, and you can use it maybe for different purposes if needed. And the good news is that we have actually made this for free till end of the year. So this team is actually able to, what I said, edit, adjust, add call to actions, add text overlays if needed. So please reach out to us if you have already some assets and you want to optimize them to make sure that we can use it for YouTube. We are here to help you, so happy to do that. And finally, we have also the YouTube Creative Directory. These are our external partners who are quite aware what our best practices are. So if you go to youtube.com/ads, you can find the partners there, and they range from different budgets that you can apply for. So I think you can already create videos with them from $10 or $20 up to $10,000. So it all depends what your budget is. So if you don't want to use the video builder, but you want to work together with an agency, I think that would be very interesting to have a look there also. Finally, the action plan and the next steps. So the next step for now would be plan everything out. Make sure that you have your creatives, because that will actually take the most time. So my advice would be to start today. And also, if you want to use the video builder, reach out immediately to us so we can whitelist you and make sure that you're able to use it. And then from now till October, setting up the campaigns. Again, if you want to have a second opinion, reach out again to us, because we are here to help you. So I know that if you, specifically if your Google contact is not able to help you out, to probably reach out to us also, or to me. So I'm happy to help you out if needed. So don't hesitate if you need to ask anything from us. And then obviously the September till January, when the campaigns are running or have been run, I think that's the moment where we are going to analyze the performance. And it's very important to also learn from our campaigns, so we can have some key takeaways for future campaigns, and to make sure that we even be more efficient and effective if we are going to use YouTube or video advertising in the future. So that was a little bit my part. Thank you very much for joining this session again. I think the main purpose today was also to make sure that you're aware what our different strategies are. So if you have different marketing objectives, we have different audiences, formats, or even measurement tools for you to make sure that it all aligns. And again, good luck with upcoming time and upcoming holiday seasons. I hope it's going to be a success for you also. And don't forget, we have more sessions coming also. So tomorrow my colleague Tom will talk a little bit more about the exclusive features of DV360. So please join also if you're interested. And again, thank you very much. Good luck. And if there is anything, please reach out to us. Thank you.